Hello, this is the High Cross One, and yesterday I talked about music. That is a thing I did. Now, today I'm going to talk about movies, and tomorrow I'm probably going to talk about something else relating to media. So I decided that this is going to be the week of media, where I'm just going to talk about different forms of media, from like video games, books. I need one other thing though. I haven't quite thought of it yet, because you know, music, movies, video games, books, that's 4. Maybe TV? I don't know. So, movies. I like to think I watch a lot of movies. Well, I don't like to think, I know I do. Because, I mean, movies are great. They're just a way of telling a story in a short amount of time, doing whatever the hell you want. Like, it can be any story. Like, there's lots of comedy movies, there's lots of action movies, there's lots of drama movies, there's lots of crime movies, there's tons of genres. But movies are short. They're great at being short. Now, some people might say, oh, they're not short. Some of them can get up to 3 or 4 hours long. Well, screw you. No, they're relatively short. You can watch them in a day and be done with it. You can move on. You can carry on. And in those short, I'm going to use 3 hours as kind of like a as an average. I don't know what the average length of all movies are, but I'm going to use 3 hours as a relative length of all movies. So in like 3 hours of time, they have to give you a setting, give you characters to like, give you a plot. They have to do all this stuff, then get to a climax, and then do all the following action. They have to get through everything that's happened afterwards. Relatively. Lots of movies skip over this, because for whatever reason, screenwriters and directors don't think the audience cares about what happens to people after. People do care. Like, whenever like, there's like a 10 years after kind of thing, well, that's okay, but I want to know what's happened to the characters right after. Like, what do? Do they just go home and be like, yeah, that was, we just killed the mob boss, time to go home. And then I just have a cup of tea. Like, I mean, it's, like, sure, it can be up to interpretation, but, I mean, it's almost lazy to do a 10 years later thing, because we gotta know how the character's feeling. Like, we've grown with this character, more or less, depending on how well the character's written. So, I mean, it almost feels like they're ripping you off when they don't tell you how this final change has affected them. Like, they've come across changes along the way, hopefully, and they've grown as a character if you're doing any good script writing. So how has this changed the character? We don't know. We only know that 10 years later it may be still affecting the character. Like, it could be anything in these 10 years that affected the character. Maybe he killed another mob boss. But no, it's just like 10 years later and it's like, what? No. That's not right. Oh, phone's ringing. I'll check. Hello? Recording? No? No, it's gonna do that right after this. Don't mind that. But why? Is it so difficult to tell us that, I mean, he went home and had a cup of tea? Well, yes, it is, because, first of all, you have to get in the mind of that character, but besides that, it's just way too often overlooked. But other than that, movies are great. I mean, there's probably lots of other things you could pick out, and I just chose one specific thing because that was on my mind, so I talked about it. But there are so many great things about movies, like I talked before, the building of the character. Like, great movies, not just good movies, but great movies, always have to have good character development. Now, this is where Disney and crap strives. Sort of. Because in most Disney movies, it's like, event happens, changes the character, okay, now we have an entirely new character to work with. That's kind of how it works, but how a lot of great movies work, like Shawshank Redemption. There are hundreds of changes. There are hundreds of changes where the character becomes a different person. Now, it's kind of easy when the movie takes place over like 30 years, but you see every change almost, and you grow with the character. Like, there's him being put into prison, and that's change one. He's no longer a free man, and then there's a bit of flashbacks that happened, and you see how he became this man. So that's change number one. I'm not going to list out all the changes, obviously, but... And then there's another change where he starts becoming friends with the prisoners, where he starts to meet people and things happen, and that's change number two. He becomes more comfortable with the idea of prison. And then there's later on, he becomes friends with the higher up people and the guards because he's an accountant, and that's another change where he's now not only friends with the prisoners but friends with the guards, and that's affected him. He's gained information and changed as a person, just like we do in real life. And then way near the end, when he's starting to become an old man, there's like hundreds of changes where you can see how he came here from being what he was to what he is now. And he almost becomes like he's still the base human being he was, but he's changed. And then, of course, the rest happens with him escaping. And he goes to the place he said he was gonna go. And that shows that he still has he's still the same person. He has the same dreams and aspirations. He just sees the world in a different light. And we see the world in his point of view. And that's great script writing, great character development. Now, I know it's kind of easy to rave on about basically the greatest film in history, as many people will agree, but still, character development makes or breaks the movie. So if any future film writers or character maker-uppers decides to watch some kid on the internet for 6-ish minutes, I hope you've gained a lot of information today. I hope you'll use this knowledge, wisdom that I'm passing on to you in future projects. Anyways, this has been the High Cross One, wearing different color socks, with the teleporting door, saying goodbye and have a nice day.